story of I Never Sank My Father is even worse. I wrote it first as a movie. I was sick of the theater at that particular time in the early 60s. And I wrote a movie called The Tiger, because I always thought of my father as a tiger. And nobody wanted to do it. Kazan read it. I sent it to Kazan. He was doing a movie at that time, and he said, would you turn it into a play for Lincoln Center, which was just getting going in New York? And I said, I'd be excited to. When he came back, he finally said, we have nobody to play that part. They were just opening Lincoln Center in their company. But he and Bob Whitehead were crazy about the movie, but they said, well, we have nobody to play it. I sent it to John Frankenheimer, who was a very distinguished director, a movie director, and he called me from the set of 7 Days in May. And he said, it's going to be my next picture, and Freddie March is going to play the father. And I said, that's exciting. And he said, I can't sign contracts because I'm out here in the desert, and the 7 Days in May, parts of it takes place somewhere in the desert. And finally he dropped it. He said, no, I'm not going to go. This went on and on and on and on. And so I turned it into a play myself. And I was dined and wined. There's a legend in the theater is if you're taking the lunch, they're not going to do your play. So I was taken to many, many luncheons. And Hal Prince cried in his martinis. He said, I love this play, but I can't do it. My father is in the same situation. I can't do it. So finally, that was on its way back into the drawer until these people who had made great success of Water's Running, it's my most successful play, and did I Never Sank My Father. And just before we were about to do it, about to go into production, we weren't that far along, Martin Manulis, who did the Playhouse 90, famous Playhouse 90 television shows in the 50s, and I'm the godfather to his children, and he called up and he said, I've been asked to come back and do a show for CBS, and I want to do The Tiger. And I said, The Tiger is no longer The Tiger. The Tiger is I Never Sank My Father, and we're about to go into production. I forgot to tell you an earlier part of the story. I ruined it. Anyway, Fred Zinnemann wanted to do it. We'd done the Nun story together, and he read it, and he said, I want to do it, and I want Spencer Tracy to play it. So Fred went to London, and we sent the script to Spencer Tracy, and Spencer said no. He just finished doing Jerry and Bob's, Inherit the Wind. I guess he didn't want to play another old man. So there we were, no place. So Martin Manuel said, but wait till you hear the cast, and they've all read it, and they've all want to do it. Spencer Tracy will play the father. Katharine Hepburn will play the mother. Richard Widmark will play the son, and they assumed that my wife, Teresa Wright, would want to play the daughter. So I turned to Gil Cates, and Gil said, listen, with a cast like that, it's going to be a very tough show to do, so give it to them. Martin called it back in 2 weeks, and he said, CBS turned it down, it's too shattering. Everybody had said right along, it's shattering, shattering, shattering. Nobody wants to see shattering. I only want to see a shattering play. I want to be shattered by laughter, or by excitement, or by emotion. You don't go to the theater to be interested. You go to the theater to be, really swept up. So anyway, that's the history of my 3 most successful plays, is nobody wanted to do them. And it was just by luck that each of them got done.